right, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Hey, we are so excited to have you here for our Facebook Live, which we've been hosting for the last couple of months, every Thursday at 11 a.m. So it is June 11th, it is 2020, and we are here to celebrate a monumental event in the life and history of Meador Staffing. So first of all, I want to introduce myself. I'm Melinda Torrison. I'm the president of Meador Staffing Services, and I've actually been here for 32 years. But this amazing lady to the right of me has been here and is actually celebrating her, believe it or not, 36th anniversary with Meador Staffing. So we were just chatting it up, and we know that June 11th is a very important day in the life and history of Meador Staffing. Linda Fields is here, and Linda, if you want to share who you are and introduce yourself to our audience this morning.
Yes, and today is my anniversary. And, yeah, my name is Linda Fields, and I've been with Meador 36 years today, and I am a VP of our Executive Search Division.
Yeah, so as y'all know, we've really been coming to you live, like I mentioned earlier, for the last couple of months, really to help those of you who are, maybe just at the forefront of being in your life, having to find a job, and just really helping the job seekers out there. And so we just want to do something a little different today, not only to celebrate the anniversary of this amazing employee here, Linda Fields, and we want to bring you just the kind of our anniversary edition, but really to be able to highlight and to bring to you the culture of who we are at Meador Staffing. So we are going to have some fun today. We hope that you young people, please don't sign off. Don't think that it's the old crowd coming to you and we're going to be all boring, because when you've been doing this business of staffing for 30 plus years, and you've been walking in the life and the shoes of being who Linda Fields is and the position that she holds and all of the crazy. So you young people, y'all need to stay with us. So we're going to have some fun. We are going to laugh. And so it's my honor. As y'all know, if Linda's been working here 36 years and I've been working here 32 years, we personally have a lot of history together and a lot of stories. Yeah. But before we get into our interview conversation, and like I said, we're just going to, kind of get in the life and the headspace of Linda and what it's been like for her being a recruiter, but we have got some funny stories. So before we jump into that, this is one thing. If you don't know Linda Fields, she saves a lot of things. So she saves a lot of resumes, so she's got a lot of paper, because she's gotten into technology, but still somewhat technologically challenged. So as a paper person, that's how we learned, in this business. But you're wondering, what is this amazing, beautiful suit that we have here? Yes, it's real. This is actually the very suit that she interviewed with Meador Staffing over 36 years ago. This is the suit, the blouse. As you can see, I told her it could actually come back in fashion. She could wear this, but she said only one arm would probably fit in it now. And then we have the shoes. Yes. So we're not going to refer to her as a hoarder. She's very sentimental in the very important things that take place in the life of Linda Fields. Right. So Linda, we're going to jump in there, and we just, again, happy anniversary to you.
Thank you.
And I'm just so glad I was like, pick me. I want to be the one to moderate and to be able to have the conversation with you today, because I think the world of you and just appreciate everything that you've done here at Meador Staffing. So we want to ask, the first question, of course, is, what can you remember 36 years ago? Wow. That day that you walked in, and at that time it was actually, our company's name was Meador Brady Personnel, and we know a lot of y'all probably remember us. If you've been in the community for any length of time, you remember us as Meador Brady Personnel over there at 1414 East Southmore. So what was it like that first day that you walked in, June 11th, 1984?
I was terrified. I thought, what does the staffing consultant do? and why do I think I can do this? and I remember going, oh my God. And my husband's like, what are you going to be doing? I said, I really don't know. It's a staffing consultant. And he said, what does it mean? I don't know. So I think I was just terrified, and actually I quit. I actually was going to quit about 3 times my first month. And I didn't, 36 years later, of course, but I was going to.
Thank God.
But yes, I was just terrified. I had no clue what I was doing.
Oh my goodness.
Just the fear of the unknown.
Well, and it's so interesting, Mr. Meador, is our CEO and had founded the company 52 years ago. And he always tells the story that if it wasn't for Janice Meador taking your phone call, and, she kept trying to convince him, we got to hire this lady. This lady, she can do this job. And he took a chance, and we were actually still in a major recession. And so we'll just give a shout out to Janice Meador for taking that call.
Thank you, Janice.
And making sure that Mr. Meador was the one that ended up hiring you. So let me ask you this. So 36 years is a really long time. And I know you and I, we still think we're young. We really act and think we're still in our 20s. We do recognize we're not that, we are older than that now. But I know when we were, first starting out our careers, we always thought, God, our grandparents, they are stupid and crazy. Who stays at one company, at one job for that long? So I guess my next question would be, why in the world have you stayed as a recruiter for 36 years? And not only just as a recruiter, because we know there's a lot of movement within our industry, but why have you stayed at Meador Staffing for 36 years?
Meador is my family. And I think that's why I stay, is that you have the opportunity to work with people that have the same passion for what we do. And every employee in our company has that passion. And I think that's why you stay. And we're just a great company. We're like a family. We don't always agree, but like a good family, you work through it. And you just sit down and you talk it out and you work through those obstacles. And I've stayed because, my husband told me the other day, he said, you were just born to do this job. And I was like, really, you think so? And he's like, yeah. I said, why? He said, because he said, it's like, Cher. I love Cher, by the way, guys. Cher has had lots of farewell tours. I just love Cher.
Okay. Well, she is, for you young people out there, she still goes to concerts.
I do.
She is not only a Cher, diva fan, but Leonard Skinner, ZZ Top, you name it. And so we actually have, that has been one of the pleasures of working with Linda throughout all these years, is to hear her adventures as she goes to the rock concerts, which does sometimes lead to accidents. We're not going to go into that, but she does have a lot of injuries. So we were laughing ahead of time. We really not only had to have the shoes during the first interview, but we really wanted to have the boot for the number of times that we've seen broken feet, broken toes, and all that good stuff. So so going into your Cher Diva story about your awesome husband, Steve, sharing how you were born for this.
Well, you are. Some people are just born to preach or sing or whatever, and I think I was just born to be in this industry, and I think the reason I stay is because it's really a blessing to get up and leave your home family and go to your work family. And that's why I stay. And I think this company is we're built on such strong principles that we do have the opportunity to talk and share and discuss and go over those obstacles. And it's fun. And it's great to know that you like what you do. So, it's just fun.
Oh, that's awesome. I have to ask you the question too, 36 years, you're in, and you really, you're like Mr. Meador, our CEO, who is like, I don't believe that the word retirement is in the Bible, and you're like him. It's like, I can't imagine never doing this. And so, your career is going to continue on for so long. But what, in the past 36 years, what has actually been, do you see your greatest work accomplishment being?
That is, that's pretty easy. I am with my team. I'm going to name them by name. It's Holly, Reagan, and Chelsea. For the last 2 years, we built $1 million. And that just goes back to, what a great team and what hard work, and I think that's what this company's all about, is teamwork, and that represents a lot of very happy candidates, but also very, very satisfied clients as well. So I think that's an accomplishment.
Oh, that's so awesome. I would want to know too, just what I really admire about you, Linda, is your ability to just develop these amazing client relationships. I mean, this lady, I got to tell y'all, she has had relationships with some of her customers for like 30 plus years. And so just get us into your headspace of how does that happen? You know, and so start there, and then I just want people to know, like, some of the things that you have done for your clients, not just helping them find their great and wonderful, you know, people for their, you know, company, but just what's your belief in client relationships, and how have you built some of those?
You know, I think we hear this all the time, but it begins with trust. And you're right. I have hosted a wedding at my house for a customer. I've given a few baby showers, more than one, by the way. I have actually babysit a customer's children before. I mean, the list just goes on and on. But I think the relationships, and that's really why I love my job, is part of it, is that, you know, they do make it worthwhile, and they're fun. But I think it starts with trust, you know, and I think that you have to always be honest with them and make it fun. But they have to trust you, and I think it's a marriage. You know, a client relationship is like a marriage. Yeah. It's like you build a marriage through trust. Yeah. You have obstacles. Who's taking the trash out? Who's going to wash the dishes? But you overcome those obstacles, and you never give up. You know, you have to be a really good staffing partner with them. But it's fun.
I've never seen an individual that just really, you just go to the mat for your customers. I mean, you just ride or die with your customers, and that, you know, it's very unselfish in just the way that you just take care of them, and you actually, I mean, it's almost like you work for that company, and the way that you go about, you know, finding those individuals that you're looking at placing with them. So I have to ask you, so if you're speaking to, you know, a new young recruiter, and we actually, you know, have some of those, I'm thinking of some of our, you know, 20-somethings. Right. Yeah, that's what we're all about here at Meador Staffing, because us old farts, you know, we gotta have some young people coming in to help bring some fun and keep us feeling young and help us do this crazy thing called staffing. So, you know, we have people that are 23, 24, 25.
We do.
I mean, do you feel like recruiting has changed, or do you feel like the qualities or the characteristics or skill set is the same? And what would your advice be to our young employees, and even, you know, those people who are online with us this morning?
Well, you know, nothing comes easy. You know, I'm looking at some of the over here to my right over here that I've worked with for years, Ashley Wright, and I think that you have to find if this job were easy, everyone would want to do it. I mean, but it's hard, but it's rewarding. So I think if I had advice, it would be to always walk with integrity, and to earn the trust of your clients and your candidates. Have a daily plan. I know that's an old thing to say, but have a plan of what you're going to do. Don't fly by the seat of your pants. But have passion. Yeah. I really think if you don't believe in what you do, you're just going to fail. I mean, you'll never be successful. Hit the road and have passion, believe in what you do. And I think it goes back to building relationships with customers, is you got to be on call for them 24/7. I mean, they just have to know that you're always there for them. Yeah. And I think that a lot of folks come in they want to work 8 to 5 and go home, and this is just not that role. You know, customers have crisis situations, and you've got to kind of be there for them.
Yeah.
But have fun. I think it's all about having fun too, having a sense of humor.
We have a lot of fun.
We do.
And we have a lot of interesting dialogue and conversations too. Yeah. So we would not be remiss. We got to go into the fun, humorous stories in the life of Linda Fields. And we have always asked our CEO, Mr. Meador, who has, you know, well, I'm just going to say, he actually said that's why his hair is gray now, because he's actually worked with Linda and, you know, been her manager for all these years. It's been the best times of his life and some of the most fun and yeah, she just said, yeah, some of the most difficult. Yeah. So we're going to get into some fun stories. And we're still working on having Mr. Meador write the playbook for HR managers for every excuse in the book you could have for being late to work. And Linda knows we can keep it real. This is what we got, relationships. So. And we're family. So we have got to get into some of the most funny and y'all, we could be doing Facebook Live literally for 8 hours. We've got so many stories, but we're going to highlight some of the few. So Linda, I would just really love to hear about the day that, my goodness, you walked out your front door at your house and your whole briefcase and this was before computers, you guys. So this was when we had nothing but applications and paper. And lo and behold, tell us the story of your briefcase. Somebody robbing your house and your briefcase and all your contents were on the front yard.
Yeah, that was one of my stories.
Is that true?
It was true. Yeah, it was. No, I had, at that time you carried a briefcase home every day. They were huge. And you could have them with two hands. And I left it by the front door as I did every night. Not real sure what happened, but I got the next morning and everything, all of my files, my resumes, was all across the front yard. So of course I had to call Mr. Meador. Tell him I was going to be late because someone had broken into my home and taken my briefcase, and I don't think he ever believed that story, but it was the truth. and it was just, he's like, well, why did they get your purse? I don't know. They got the briefcase. So yeah, that was a true story.
So
yeah, it was a mess.
They didn't steal your TV or your jewelry. They stole your briefcase.
Just the briefcase, yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm not sure if he believed that story.
The sad thing about this whole moment, this is before cell phones and video.
Yes. So
and going viral, or else this would be, we would be showing like real stories on our Meador YouTube channel. So, okay, so I've got to tell you, I mean, Mr. Meador, you know, sharing some stories with us about one of the times that, one of his favorite was when you called and you said, hey, I'm going to be I'm going to be late, Mr. Meador. Okay, Linda, well, what's going on? Oh my gosh, you're just not going to believe it. Somebody shot out the back glass in my SUV and my husband, Steve, ran over the neighbor's dog. And Ben's comment was, this happened at the same time this morning? Yeah, it did. So I do have to say, how many of your neighbors' pets have you actually run over?
Well,
I know there's been several dogs and cats.
Yeah, actually two.
Okay, just two?
Well, actually, two dogs. Two. One my husband did, one I did.
Accidentally, right?
Yes, of course. And then, of course, I forgot the story. I was like, he didn't show that one. Goodness gracious.
Oh, well, please do tell.
We were hanging wallpaper with my neighbor, and the dog licked the wallpaper glue and died. It was horrible, by the way. It was terrible. I felt awful. I was late to work that day, too.
Like died on the floor? Died in your arms?
It died later. It was awful. It was terrible. So, yeah. But, I mean, I'm really a good driver, just so you know.
Okay.
I'm very careful.
Well, speaking of automobiles, we have to go right into, in the past, your 36-year career here at Meador Staffing, you've had two minivans that have actually been stolen.
I have.
One was at Luby's on Southmore when you were going to Rotary.
I was at a Rotary meeting.
Okay, but you've really got to elaborate. One of our favorite stories here at Meador Staffing is the day that please do tell, when you're at the convenience store pumping your gas into your minivan, and again, you had to give Mr. Meador a call at the office because something happened. So please elaborate on that.
I only had the van for about 4 days, by the way, which was brand new. Had the little paper tag they put on them, you know. I was pumping gas, and you had to go inside and pay. Back then, you didn't have the little scan cards and stuff. And I was pumping gas, and then I was a smoker by that time.
Yes,
I was still smoking.
Mm-hmm.
I left my cigarettes on the counter, and the lady in the store was hitting the thing going, you know, left your cigarettes. I'm like, oh my goodness, I left my cigarettes. So I walked in to get them as my van is just driving off. So I had to call Mr. Meador, because I was going to a customer appointment. By the way, I had a customer appointment. That's where I was headed to go see a customer.
And again, Mr. Meador's the president of the company.
He's the president of our company,
right?
and
okay.
he and Darla Haygood, who just retired after 45 years, had to come get me in my car. And they had to wait, of course, because I had to call the police. Back on the old phones, we had to put your quarter in or whatever and call the police and get my story. So, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. He believed that woman because he had to come pick me up.
He
Dad was gone.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's so many stories here. So, he elaborated the time you've had like multiple tornadoes come through your home, multiple floods, lots of, crazy stuff happening.
Right.
And, one of the stories is, I think you'd been working here like maybe 5 or 6 years. And at that time, I think you lived over in Channelview. You and Steve did, and of course, Mr. Meador got the call. Mr. Meador, I'm gonna be late this morning, or a tornado came through my house and struck my house. So, and I'm not gonna be. I'm be a little late. I'm gonna be there, but I'm be a little late. And I believe that particular tornado took your chimney off of the house, and tore down the wall.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, Mr. Meador actually got in the car to drive by the house to
I didn't even know that.
Did this really anyone? And it was true.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gents, most of the stories that she's sharing, they're not fake news.
No,
they're
true.
like real live, actual reasons of
drama just happens
why
sometimes.
Linda was late for work.
Yeah.
But there's just story after story after story. But I just, to wrap this up, Linda, what, I guess share whatever you want to share that's maybe on your heart of just the life and times of Linda Fields here at Meador Staffing. And maybe just share with our audience again, just, what's it feel like to work for a company for so long? And
it seems like yesterday. And I know it's not, of course. I've got lots of gray hair, and Mr. Meador, I colored my hair, but it seems like yesterday. But I think that you're right. You said, my parents worked for their companies for 30, 40 years. I thought I would never do that.
Yeah.
But I have no regrets. I think that I've been so blessed to be a part of such a company that is founded on such biblical principles, and that we have Melinda's our president, Mr. Meador's our CEO, and we're just a great place to work, and it's a blessing to get up and like what you do, because a lot of folks get up and hate their job and hate going to work, and I will do this as long as it's fun, and right now I'm having a lot of fun, and I think that it's for the audience out there, if you're not in the right job, well, come see us. We'll help you. But number two is, I think that if you're not in the right job, find that right job, because I think it's truly a blessing to have a home family and a work family, and they have seen me through a lot. Yeah. Everything from deaths to cancer to success and fun and great grandbabies being born. But it is just that you share with your family, and it's a privilege to have had Mr. Meador as my mentor, and to have worked so closely with Melinda over the years, and I'm looking forward to another, not 36 more years. That ain't gonna happen. Just saying, you young ones, y'all gotta start kicking it up.
That's right.
But I'm not ready to go yet. I'm having fun. So. But it's been fun. It's been a great.
Well, I just got to tell you, and I think of a phrase of what Mr. Meador says is, Linda Fields, you just totally do this well. You kick butt and take names, and when you just are hardcore, and I just, on behalf of all of us at Meador Staffing, just think the world of you, and I just have great respect for you, and I love you, Linda Fields, and so I'm glad you're here, and it's been an honor and a privilege. I can say that now, and like you said, it's when you work with your family, it's like being with your family.
Yeah.
You got hard conversations, you got just a lot of things you go through. But I can't think of a better person to go through with, and I really would say you're probably, if I had to pick 5 people, if there was a war going on and I needed 5 people to get in my foxhole with me, you'd be one. Plus, you're a really good deer hunter, and you shoot well too. Yes. So that's a whole other subject. But thanks, you guys, for joining us.
Thank you.
And happy anniversary, Linda.
Thank you. Bye.